You're meeting the advisor now? She usually needs appointments made days in advance. You're printing again? Didn't it jam on you this morning? You're only starting the readings now? The quiz is the first thing tomorrow. You turned off your alarm again? That's why you keep missing the early class. You're using those notes? Didn't the professor say the slides were updated yesterday? You're heading out already? We still haven't finalized the group presentation.
Professor, I stopped by your office during the posted lab hours yesterday, but the door was locked.
Oh, right. I had to attend an emergency meeting with the department chair. I meant to update the announcement, but didn't have time.
I wanted to ask a few questions about the data analysis section of the lab report.
No problem. I can stay for a few minutes now. Or if you prefer, I've added an extra office hour tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow works better. I don't want to rush through my questions.
Perfect. Bring your draft and we'll go through the calculations together.
Hey, are the laundry machines working on your floor?
Not really. Two of them shut off mid-cycle, and the others aren't draining properly.
That explains why my clothes were still soaking wet after 40 minutes.
Yeah, maintenance left a note saying they're replacing the pumps tomorrow.
Great. I need clean clothes for my presentation on Friday.
You can try the machines in the basement. They're older, but reliable.
Good idea. I'll use those for now. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. Just go early. Everyone else is thinking the same thing.
Hi, Miss Carter. Do you have a moment to look over my internship application?
Sure, but I'm meeting another student in 5 minutes. I can help you briefly, or you can book a full advising session for tomorrow.
I think it's better if we go through everything carefully. I want to make sure my personal statement is strong.
Good choice. There are a few common mistakes students make, and we can revise them together.
Great. Are you available in the afternoon?
Yes, I have an opening at 2:30.
Perfect. I'll bring my drafts. Thanks.
Attention students, the East Campus Auditorium will be closed beginning this Thursday for a 3-week renovation project. During this period, all scheduled guest lectures and film screenings will be relocated to the Meridian Lecture Hall. Please check your event tickets or email confirmations for updated seating information. The renovation includes lighting upgrades, so some nighttime events may be rescheduled to earlier times. Good morning. This is a reminder that academic advising sessions for undergraduate students will take place next week. Due to high demand, walk-in appointments will not be available. Students must reserve a time slot through the portal by Friday at noon. Advisors will prioritize students who need approval for course overloads. So, if you're planning to take more than the recommended credit limit, schedule your session early. Attention all students and faculty in the Science Building. Facilities staff will perform a scheduled water shutoff tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to repair a damaged pipeline. Restrooms on all floors will be unavailable, but portable restrooms will be placed outside the main entrance. If you are conducting lab work that requires running water, please complete it before 9 a.m., as water access cannot be restored temporarily during the repair period.
When we think of planetary rings, Saturn is usually the first example that comes to mind. But several planets, including Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune, also have ring systems, although they're much fainter. So how do these rings form? There are two leading theories. The first is the destructive theory. It suggests that rings are made from moons that were torn apart by tidal forces. When a moon gets too close to a planet, within something called the Roche limit, the planet's gravity can pull it apart. The debris then spreads out into a ring. The second is the constructive theory, which proposes the opposite. Instead of being formed by destruction, rings are made from leftover material that never formed into a moon in the first place. In other words, the material has been orbiting the planet since the solar system's earliest days. What's interesting is that both theories may be true, depending on the planet. Saturn's rings, for example, appear relatively young, suggesting they may have formed from a destroyed moon. But Uranus's rings might be ancient, supporting the constructive theory. Today we're exploring the idea of social capital, a term used to describe the value created by relationships within a community. Unlike financial capital or physical capital, social capital is intangible, but it has very real effects on society. There are two types. Bonding social capital refers to strong relationships among people who are similar, family, close friends, or members of a tightly knit group. This type creates trust and emotional support. Bridging social capital, on the other hand, connects people across different groups. For example, acquaintances from different professions or communities. Bridging social capital gives individuals access to new information and resources they wouldn't otherwise encounter. Research shows that communities with high levels of social capital tend to experience less crime and higher levels of civic participation. However, social capital isn't always positive. Strong bonding groups can become exclusive, resisting outsiders and even reinforcing inequality. So understanding social capital helps sociologists explain why some communities thrive while others struggle. When we think of Renaissance masterpieces, we tend to focus on the artists themselves: Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael. But much of their work wouldn't exist without patrons, the individuals or institutions who funded their projects. Patronage shaped not only what artists produced, but also how they produced it. During the Renaissance, wealthy families like the Medici used art to project political power and social prestige. By commissioning elaborate sculptures or frescoes, they signaled their influence in a highly visible way. As a result, artists often created works that aligned with their patrons' political or religious interests. Patronage wasn't limited to families. The Catholic Church was one of the largest patrons, commissioning altarpieces, architecture, and murals to communicate theological messages. This institutional support influenced artistic style, promoting clarity, symbolism, and emotional impact to engage worshippers. Interestingly, patronage also affected artistic innovation. Because competition among wealthy patrons was intense, artists were encouraged to experiment, adopting new techniques like linear perspective or oil painting to impress their sponsors. So the Renaissance art we admire today was shaped as much by economic and political forces as by artistic talent.